Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hacking with Friends. My name is Cody Kinsey. I'm a security researcher with Varonis, and today we have a special co-host and Sasquatch aficionado on the show,
Indeed.
Michael.
Hi.
So today we are going to be taking another stab at a concept we tried for the very first time last week. And let's just say that while our viewers really enjoyed this, YouTube was not a huge fan of this particular broadcast.
The cursed stream, as it was called.
Yes, so although we basically sourced all of this content from fair use content that YouTube was already hosting in other places on itself, that was not enough. And YouTube decided that we were playing copyrighted, I guess they thought we were trying to like stream like a movie or something. So even though it was less than, I think like 20 seconds was the limit, we still managed to get the stream shut down over and over again. So if you're watching this stream today and you want to have a good time and not notice any interruptions, here's a little cheat sheet. Go on any of our other platforms like Twitch or Periscope and the stream will go on uninterrupted. So I'll just pause and let anybody who wants to experience the stream without maybe having any of the problems that we had last time, just go ahead and check out those platforms just in case we do get shut down. And if you don't know where those are, you can go to hackingwithfriends.com and you'll find all of our social media platforms right there.
Indeed.
Or you can also go to my Twitter and it's playing on Periscope there, just twitter.com/Cody Kinsey. All right. So today we're going to be doing the Hacker React series again. So Michael has selected a number of different clips, and I have seen some of these movies. I haven't seen some other ones, but I don't know what clips we're going to watch except the very first one, which he leaked to me, and another one which I urged him to include because somebody mentioned last time they really wanted to see Die Harder with a Vengeance. Whichever.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that one's in our lineup. I forgot to check if it was.
Hopefully it is. So we're just going to go through and take a look at how practical some of these scenes are, whether or not they're actually something that could happen in real life. And yeah, just try to give you guys an understanding of whether or not these scenes actually correspond with reality whatsoever. What? No. Let's just don't do it on the fly. Let's just, all right.
Oh.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the first scene.
Okay. Let's see here. There we go. So the first scene we're gonna do is from the movie Hackers. So of course you know the hackers. What? Oh.
Inspecting the source.
Yeah,
very
inspecting the source. This is what happens when you have a keyboard in the lap. Okay, so we're gonna put headphones on so we can hear it, and I'm gonna start this.
Okay, so Mark Zuckerberg is hacking something. All right, great. Got some terminals. A lot of, I don't understand the writing on the pages. That doesn't look like code. Maybe it's all code. All right, we got, that's not Los Angeles, so I'm assuming it's New York.
The thing I do like is like the time lapse. Okay, this is just weirdness.
Okay, so now we've got some like really advanced math and the word life flashing by here really quickly. Okay, so I will say the apartment does look pretty spot on for a hacker. It's going to be a little disgusting. Yeah. However, yeah, let's pause it. Yeah, we've got some sports knickknacks. I don't know about that, but soda cans, yes, nailed that aesthetic. Really good.
I was gonna say, at our previous residence, this is like almost to the T. Like the table in the living room where all the hacker stuff strewn about and people just like randomly doing all sorts of stuff around is pretty accurate. I do like how it is kind of showing that hacks take a while, because I feel like that's misrepresented in a lot of these clips and movies. It's like, oh, super nerdy guy hacks in like 5 seconds, right? Where I think this one is doing at least somewhat decent job of showing like, hey, it takes time to develop, you know, a program or a tool or something like that.
Yeah. So somebody sitting down and developing something at length is definitely going to be, you know, a longer process.
Yeah.
I also like that the friends are just spazzing out in the background and being weird. Okay, wow.
I definitely wouldn't be able to code like that.
I don't.
Like,
what do you mean like that?
I mean like with all the people around.
Oh, right. Okay.
But also, like, I don't mentally visualize.
What is this
That's
creature
like just
in the
random
background?
like calculus equations. Like I saw a summation.
No. I'm aware of the calculus equations. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this sea creature pulsing. I have never programmed anything involving like a fractal sea creature.
I'm just gonna assume that this guy is using some sort of mental aid. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just trippy. No,
It isn't
pizza.
a
Pizza's
virus.
accurate.
It's a worm.
It's a worm.
It
Okay.
nibbles. You see all of this?
Yeah.
This is every financial transaction Ellingson
Great.
conducts.
Lots of
yeah?
financial
From $1 million
transactions.
deals to the $10 that some guy pays for gas.
The worm eats a few cents from each
Oh my gosh.
transaction.
No one's caught it.
Okay, so for
Sneaky.
people that don't know what a worm is, what is a worm?
Well, worm seems to be something that's very loosely used here, but a worm is a piece of software that's able to propagate itself. So it's able
Right.
to make copies of itself and spread. Something that would be like something my job I hear like involving that word is like a Wi-Fi wormable like piece of malware or something that is able to send copies of itself over like Wi-Fi, for example, and infect other IoT
Right.
devices. So
Yeah.
Because the money isn't really gone. It's just data being shifted around.
And when the worm's ready, it zips out with the money and erases its trash.
Joey got cut off before he got to that.
okay,
part.
all right. So they're
Check
talking
it
about
out. By
something
this
that's going to
point,
go.
It's already running at what? Twice the speed is when it started.
And if this
Okay,
rate
all right.
ends, it's
So
done.
they're
2 days.
Judging by
finding
this
some
segment
way
alone, it's already
to scrape a little bit of money off of transactions, and because it's digital, no one's noticing yet. Okay, all right,
Yeah.
fair enough.
eating about $21.8 million bucks, man.
I really like.
I
this
can't
wrote
see
this.
him and not
Need
think of
somebody to take the
Scooby-Doo.
fall. And that's Freak, and that's Joey, and that's us. We gotta get the rest of this file so we can find out where the money's going before the worm disappears, so we can find out who created it.
I know who
so
wrote it.
somebody's trying to frame them for
Yeah.
a really big heist, and the worm hasn't been caught yet, but it's going to be caught. All right, got it.
What?
Yeah.
This Ellingson security creep. I gave him a copy of the disc you gave me.
You what?
Didn't know what was on it. Oh, man.
Okay,
Wait, so someone.
life lesson here: never plug in random USBs and stuff to your machine because when you don't know what's on it.
Universally stupid, man.
Yo, man, you an amateur, man.
Whoa.
Nice.
Wait, that was confusing. Did he give away a copy of this software by accident, or did he plug a piece of malicious software in? That was unclear to me.
No.
Perhaps someone in the comments can let me know because I actually don't know. But okay, I mean, this is proposing a pretty big heist. It's also still playing. I can still hear
Yeah, I
it.
know. YouTube is spazzing out on me.
Okay. Yeah, so this is proposing like these people getting blamed for someone else's piece of malware, which is running around and stealing a bunch of pennies and scraping them together into a fortune.
Right. Yeah, like, I mean, I know there have been like very like powerful like worms and stuff in the past. Like what Stuxnet was a worm, right? And then there was Sammy Camcar's whole MySpace, which would be much more in the kind of time period we're looking at here. I mean, but yeah. Also, it makes me think of the whole plot. What it wasn't The Office. You know what the '90s movie I'm talking about? Office Space or something like that.
I was gonna say I'm looking it up right now, but isn't this like the end part of that?
Yeah, where basically they're siphoning off the fractions of a cent from every transaction.
Yeah, I was just like, this movie seems like it also has another movie that has like the same kind of twist. But anyway, so financial crime, yes. Rounding off transactions, I don't know if you could get away with that nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like when people do get access to financial stuff, it's social engineering attacks, like finding a way to send a message to the bank from their own secure system that says, hey, transfer like $3 million, getting it all in one go and running.
Right.
The low and slow technique is in some cases smart, but I mean, I don't know of any super public examples that have been quite like that. But either way, it's interesting. I think, of course, it is in some cases probably practical, but all the cases I know of tend to grab money like pretty quickly and don't stick around and siphon money for like a super long time. But you know,
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Okay. So the next scene we're gonna do, let me pull that up, is gonna be another scene from Hackers, same movie here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I hear Hackers is a really popular movie in our among hackers.
in the hacker community.
In the hacker community, yeah. But
Gee, I wonder why.
I've actually never watched it, so.
Alright, I really like the keyboard layout. I like the GUI
There's a new
here.
virus in the database.
Whoa, whoa.
It's replicating, eating up memory. What do I do?
I
Cookie, you idiot. I'll head him off with a
love
pass.
the fact that it's just
the cookie
visually,
monster.
visually
Yeah,
eating
zero
the
buck,
system.
attack and
Like
all,
all the
like
code for the whole
file.
system is displayed
Give me a
on the
systems
GUI,
display.
and you can see it like eating it.
Yeah, that's something I find a lot of these movies do is like absurd GUIs. for,
Whoa,
like, no reason.
this guy has like laser cut keys. Oh no, he's getting
Rabbit
infected.
is in the administration system.
Send a
No,
flu
I
shot.
mean, I guess
Rabbit, flu shot.
would that e-
Someone talk to me.
Okay, so I haven't
replicates
been
through it
in a
all.
lot of socks, but this is not like the sock I've had. This looks like the bridge of like a battle carrier. Like
Yeah.
this just looks yeah.
well,
I don't know what kind of aesthetic they were going for, but like nobody has just like plexiglass like thing like everywhere.
Yeah.
That's a bit
Well,
much.
I mean, besides all that, so what they're talking about is like using up all the memory or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I know there's like buffer overflow attacks and stuff like that, but it seems I don't know what they're trying to represent here. Besides,
That's your criticism of this screen that like of the I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, sure. I guess they're not properly like showing off a buffer overflow attack,
Well-
but that's not like they have a bunch of like animated characters chewing up the code like a dog like chewing through your homework. Like it so like
it's
I mean
a visual representation of the attack. I mean,
great. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, obviously this is just done to make the scene more tense and exciting. Like I have never seen a sock like that, and I've never seen a screen that just like is being eaten
Yeah.
by some sort of code monster. Let's keep going.
Okay.
It loads a file, then it spreads like cancer.
Cancer?
It spreads like cancer. Oh. Okay, now that.
Okay.
Okay, how many times do hackers actually like show videos of themselves doing? I mean, I know there's like anonymous, but like that's just absurd.
Actually, no.
Gibson's
So
finding us
one
too
of the most famous like hacks was the it was during a broadcast of I think it was like
Oh,
Doctor Who,
yeah.
and then the dude like came on and proceeded to just like
Yeah.
mess around for like several minutes.
That
One of
was
the most
like a
famous
radio hack.
No,
too.
it was TV.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like it was like an over-the-air like using radio waves hack.
Yeah, and in it, the guy, you know, or woman, whoever,
Yeah.
put on a mask and danced around in front of the camera because they wanted everyone to
That
know.
actually was a great scene.
Yeah.
I think I've used that as an Easter egg in some of our older Noel Bite videos too.
Whoa. Okay, so this looks like Temple OS. I think that everyone can agree that he's running Temple OS. Oh, he's in some sort of digital server farm. Okay, that's exciting.
It always weirds me out that
too
they
many
choose
garbage
that way
files.
to
I need more
represent
time.
data. And also, I love like the heads-up display. Like even in 2021, like I don't know anyone that would hack with a heads-up display.
They're at Grand Central Station.
Most
lower
people would just
level.
hack with that sleek
Don't
little
screw
microphone
up.
he's got.
Can you imagine trying to use like a text-to-speech software for hacking? That would be so hard. I don't know about other people, but it always like gets what I say
Game's
wrong.
over. Last chance to get out of this without a prison sentence. You're not good enough to beat me.
Whoa.
Shit.
Yeah, maybe I'm not. We are, you asshole.
Give it up.
Well, harsh language, viewer
Just
discretion
give
advised.
His mullet is so good. And also his vest is really good too.
Also, what is that screen? Or yeah, never mind. Learning how to work all the things from away.
It's still playing.
Ugh. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, well that was quite a duel. So I would say that was one of the most ludicrous representations of hacking that I've seen in a while. But overall, you know, great. You're trying to explain a process that's visually very boring to an audience that doesn't understand what a one-on-one duel would look like.
Yeah.
I guess the problem in this case was garbage files. You don't know which ones are good and which ones aren't. You need more time to find to find your way through. I guess that part can be confusing.
Yeah.
Sure.
was
But
gonna
yeah,
s-
the rest of it, the guy with the mullet in like his lair with the laser cut keys, like
Yeah, that's
I wish that was real. I wish that that was like a standard hacker duel.
Yeah, I think that is like the ambiance we wish we had, but like I don't think that you could realistically hack in any kind of setting like that. It would be so distracting to me.
I mean, I would love to hack in a setup like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the aesthetic that some of the like hackathons go for and stuff at like DEF CON.
Sure.
Somewhat. I was gonna say, move over, you're migrating out of scene. But okay, so the next one we have is Chuck from the movie Chuck. Let's see.
Okay. This one,
All right.
I
I
think
don't know anything
Find us
about.
a virus, shall we?
All right, the virus hunting and drinking
okay, so
white
this
wine.
seems like blue teamy.
Is that Chardonnay?
Wow, I haven't seen this in a long time. We used to call this routine the routine.
That's very creative.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chuck
I really like that
she was
there's just like a
hacker,
terminal
you know?
doing
They
random
used to
stuff in the
call
background. Wait. Go back. I'm sorry. What was that?
That seemed like a Matrix ripoff right there.
Okay, no, it's not. It's
Oh, you mean the actual?
yeah, that's
like,
what I was looking at. I was trying to actually read it. But I can't because you've gone to a frame where it's covered in other codes. So you can just play. It's fine.
I was gonna say it looks like there's some port numbers. maybe?
CMD, TRX, something. Ninja? It's just like saying the same thing over. I have no idea.
Well,
Okay.
as a video person, this is the sort of stuff I always wonder about because, like, I know when
Carmichael Industries. That's the only thing I can really make
it
out.
can
Alright.
be a problem sometimes when you're doing B-roll
You know,
to like figure
they
out
used to
what you
call
want to have on screen.
I love the snow.
Swordfish, right?
He started coding so hard that it started
About it,
snowing
'cause I
code.
didn't think it was an A+ film, but
Well, I thought it was pretty good.
yeah, it's okay. I like the holes in those hacker scenes are just like.
Carmichael
Someone coded the
Industries.
name
Well, okay,
into
they
the
really
telescript.
Carmichaeled it
Little
up.
inside joke for anyone running viral countermeasures.
I can barely hear this.
Yeah, me too. It's really quiet.
Rana got really
me-
into
That's
like
fine.
coding
Okay.
session. He could get a bit giddy.
That's kind of cute.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
it's also super nerdy.
He's going into a new
Definitely that
world.
too.
I can see he's just got the Matrix screensaver running on one computer for
Okay.
inspiration. And then,
The name was
Okay, at
What
least
did
it's.
you do?
curve algorithm.
At least
can you go back to that screen? I'm sorry. That screen was ludicrous.
I mean, at least some of these are look. Wait, it was really fast,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
it's
It was
also
like-
super nerdy.
It's
Here
definitely
we
that
go.
too.
There.
Okay, yeah, like that is just all gibberish. Like at least it looks terminally-esque, but
They got the colors right.
yeah, they got the colors and the fonts like basically right. Like this box looks like it might actually legit be something, but like the rest of this is just all gibberish.
Yikes.
Types.
Yeah, it's funny that he codes in just like apparently machine language and convert type LVCSFCAT.
Yeah.
Cool.
The name was encrypted.
I do
so
like
ran
the
an elliptic curve
Razer
algorithm to find
headset
the
though.
key.
That
Of
is
course,
very
that was cake.
true to form. 'Cause that's the kind of stuff I wear too.
Colin
Oh
Davis.
wow. So the code just faded away to reveal the answer. I love
Yeah.
it when my GUI does that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
Man
that
behind the Omen
basically never
virus.
happens. Now, OSINT is definitely really a thing. Like I don't know if that's exactly what they're portraying here, but like getting information like that on a target is somewhat realistic.
I was a head programmer at the
Just not in that
Collective.
way.
A rogue-
Whoa.
Would you have access to files like this? Maybe if you're using like Maltego or something, you can find some like public records. Could you get like mugshots? I guess that's public record, right?
What are you asking?
Can you just pull up a mugshot as a civilian?
The answer is it depends on the county.
Okay.
Some counties make them public, some counties don't make them public.
Yeah.
It's generally not a good thing to assume that they do because it's a minority of counties that would actually do that.
Right.
And also, you would
Technological
typically need
terrorists
corresponding
who
information
sell
in order to
viruses
pull it
the
up.
highest bidder.
Yeah.
3 months ago, he disappeared with the key to the virus.
Drop off the grid, crazy guy style. I like that.
Well, Mr. Colin Davis, let's see if you left us any clues as to where you went.
Okay, yeah, so they're doing some sort of search. Red Bull, great.
Okay, that is. I wonder how much they got paid
Sure
for that
he
product
needs. When he gets
placement.
all plugged in, he goes overboard with the
Although
shark
it
man,
wasn't
calls
like
his thinking
oriented
juice.
right, so maybe they weren't getting paid for it. Boozing and coding may be somewhat realistic.
Hello, you. Well, this is Davis's last.
What
known
is in the
location.
background? Is that? Do they have a
Virus
rack full of
here.
guns? Like
Kind
it's
of
confusing.
encampment behind this barrier.
It's like some sort of separatist compound. There
All
could
right,
be
he's got
militia
Google
training
Maps
back
pulled
there.
up. Good.
Casey would have loved this mission.
What?
I think it just switched scenes.
Yeah. Okay. I think is that the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
okay.
call that one because
Yeah.
I can barely hear that.
So all right. So they basically like ran a Matrix screensaver for 20 minutes and then ended up pulling up someone's address and Google Maps.
Yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, insofar as like, can you run a text-based search tool to get like an address and then like, you know, pull up public records and then open Google Maps? Like, yeah. Do you need to get like wasted on white wine to do it? Like, no, there's no need for that. So I would rate the scene as, I'm sorry?
Take your headphone off. You're yelling a little.
No, it's okay. You're too loud to hear the scene if I don't have the headphones on. Yeah, I would say that in general, like this scene is a little bit extra. They could have done all of that in about maybe 30 seconds using like just a regular tool. But if you got to make yourself look cool, then getting wasted on white wine is probably, I guess, not the most like stereotypically hacker thing I would think of to be drinking while you were hacking. But you know, this I think it's trying to make the show's audience feel good about themselves.
I mean, I've gone to like parties at DEF CON and stuff like that where, you know, there are people doing stuff, but I feel like most of those sorts of situations, it's like something you've already developed that you're showing off, or maybe like just testing or refining. I know there are some like hackathons where people like party and drink, but I don't know, like, isn't the one at DEF CON, they make them drink every so often or something? I don't remember. I don't really attend that stuff so much. But, okay. So our next scene is going to be The Matrix.
Good.
It's a really short scene, though. So, let me...
This is not The Matrix. This is The Matrix Reloaded. There's a serious difference between those two movies. All right. Just got to get in. Stop.
Oh.
All right.
I told it to pause.
Okay, wait. What is this? What is it? What are you doing, Trinity?
Okay.
She's using SSH nuke, and she's specified 10.2.2.2 as the IP address, and she set the root password variable to Zion0101. Hey, this is real stuff. Attempting to exploit SSH v1 successful. Setting root password system. Okay, so what is this, Michael? What did she just do?
Well, first of all, she ran Nmap, which is a real tool that hackers use. SSH nuke is some fake tool, but ostensibly you could have some like PowerShell script or other tool that you wrote.
If this was real, what did she just do?
Well, it seems like she logged into a remote session via SSH and then did something another, right? Access level 9. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
Okay,
like
so stop. No. Okay. So what she did was she ran a tool that exploited a critical vulnerability in SSH version 1, which was successful, and that enabled her to do essentially a blind command injection. So she was able to inject a piece of code that set the root password and allowed her to log into the SSH session normally.
Nice.
So she was able to abuse a flaw that she detected using Nmap and reset the password, which gave her access. That's real.
Yeah. I mean, assuming that you know like a 0
Still
day
no side
or whatever.
I don't know what they're doing, but they only got 2 minutes left.
I assuming that you know a 0 day or flaw.
Well, if you just run Nmap, then it's very likely it hasn't been updated. Okay, go ahead and pause and go back, because I think that's the only code we've got. This is a very short clip. So let's see what she actually did. Resetting root password, SSH, okay. Control, so then she just used like a recognized command on the system to disable grid nodes 21 through 48. Warning, disabling nodes will disconnect sector 11, 27 nodes. Are you sure? Yes. Okay, cool. So like the end of the scene is her just using a built-in tool that she gained access to via SSH. And then just telling it to shut down a particular
something
sector.
else that I appreciate too is like, you know, we've talked about how all the GUIs are like so crazy, and then just having like terminal and you do the Y and enter to say yes and stuff is actually a little refreshing compared to some of the other scenes we've seen.
Well, I was going to say this is the way that unfortunately, most industrial control systems do look, is they will just be like SSH access or text access, and they'll have like just commands that it recognizes in order to do very basic functions.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay, so there we see like an industrial control system panel that, you know, you might be more used to. Okay. And then you have like...
Wait. Sorry, 3 of those videos are us. I just think that's very funny.
Yeah,
All right, go
that's
on.
nice. Okay, give me a second here. But yeah, I think like most of that's pretty realistic, especially compared to the other sorts of scenes. Certainly, hacking industrial control systems, power plants, and stuff like that is a big thing that we've heard about, in the news recently with like certain pipelines and stuff like that. But like there would also be.
I'm sorry, that was not what happened.
Yeah, I know it's not exactly the same, but I'm saying, never mind.
Okay, yeah, the industrial control is different from ransomware.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but like I would say of the hacking scenes that we've done, like
Sorry, I was thinking the Florida one.
Yes.
That water system. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was getting the pipeline and the water system confused. I'm sorry for my grievous mistake.
It's okay. It's fine to be wrong. Anyway, let's say of these scenes, I think that this is probably the one that looks like actual hacking. Finding a vulnerability using something like Nmap and then exploiting it is probably one of the most realistic ways that someone would get access to a system if they were specifically trying to break through a system that hasn't been updated in a long time. I've also seen this kind of setup specifically with routersploit, insofar as being able to attack network devices. So this is actually very practical and exactly the way that real network exploitation looks, depending on the tool you're using and whether or not the system that you're attacking has a vulnerability, which most do.
Right. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is actually one of the Marvel movies. It's going to be the Tony Stark courtroom scene. I forget which one it's from. Iron Man 2. Okay, it's from Iron Man 2.
I have never seen this.
Okay. Then let's just roll.
Been corroborated by our allies and local intelligence.
Okay, all right, he's got a clear credit card computer
quite possibly at this moment
that everybody else can see,
Hold on a
both
second,
in
bud.
front of and behind him.
Oh, boy, I'm good.
Whoa.
I come into your screens. I need
Okay.
time for a little transfer.
So, like, I think this is something, like, the way it's represented here is maybe a little unrealistic. I mean, the terminal screen, whatever. But, like, certainly, like, if the TV was running Chromecast or Roku or anything like that, people, I don't know if it's really considered a hack, but, like, if you're on the same network, you can easily, like, commandeer access to those and start displaying stuff on screens that maybe you weren't intended to.
Hacking a smart
Let's see
TV
what's
is not
really going on.
unrealistic.
What does
Yeah.
he do?
If you'll direct your attention to said screens, I believe that's North Korea.
Oh wow, they made North Korea tried to make RoboCop. That's
Yeah.
very sad and unfortunate for them.
And also, I would point out here too, like like hacking IP cameras and stuff like that, also within the realm of like possibility. I don't know that that's really what's being displayed there, but
Turn that off. Take it off.
Iran.
Oh, everyone's making these terrible.
also like people not
Right
knowing
here.
how to
Is that
work
just a
tech
hammer?
and like frantically trying to unplug stuff would also be really realistic in one of these sorts of scenes. I feel like.
Oh, that man just died.
Wow.
Yeah, that. I feel like
I'd
that's a
say,
scene we saw
let's
last
try-
time too, where just an old guy just unplugs the power, and that's how you stop the hack.
Okay, well, the hack in this case was he connected to a smart TV. I can do that with my phone as well, although my phone is not clear. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool he has a clear phone, but I can also connect to a smart TV. Now, that being said, kicking someone else off a smart TV and then connecting yourself to it, like that's a little bit harder. But depending on the type of technology it's using, a lot of these smart devices will allow you to just pair with them if you download the app that's associated with them. A lot of the time, they just assume that if you have access to the network or if you're in proximity to the device and you have permission to set it up. So wirelessly doing this only works some of the time because a lot of these devices will require you to like press a button or something to go into pairing mode, and that's one defense against this sort of thing from happening. But I found plenty of devices that are perfectly willing to pair with my phone once I download the right app. So this is actually somewhat practical, although again, I do not have a clear phone, so that part I feel a little bit bad about.
I don't know if
10
there, I
years
think
away.
there's a little more, but I don't
Hammer
know if
Industries,
there's
20.
any
I'd
other
like to
hack.
point out that test pilot survived.
I think we're done is the point that he's making. I don't think there's any reason.
Point is,
Yeah.
you're welcome, I guess. Because I'm your nuclear
He's just being snarky.
Yeah, okay. I don't think there's any more
Yeah.
there.
All right.
But yeah, like I mean, TV hack, realistic.
Hack a smart TV. Yeah.
Doing it in a courtroom or like a congressional room, probably not the wisest idea. Like I'm sure there's like contempt of court and all kinds of other things that you might get charged with in those sorts of situations.
Right.
But onward. Okay, I think this is the scene that was being asked for before. Die
Have you
Hard
seen this?
4.
Did you watch the scene before?
No, I
So you have no idea what the scene you're
No.
looking for is. We're about to get rickrolled.
Are we?
Probably.
I don't know. We'll see.
There's actually several hacking scenes. Okay, alright. We've got...
Okay, like techno music, wild.
This is not techno.
Or whatever. Music.
Sorry, it's anything that's not country, huh?
Yeah, basically.
Alright, see, he's at IRC.
Very
He's about to
realistic
drink
hacker
the
thing.
wrong... he's about to drink the wrong old beverage. Has happened to me many times. They've got the font right.
Okay, so they got his public IP, which, you know, what could a hacker actually do with a public IP?
Locate you.
Okay, like, could they locate you to your house, your apartment like this, you think?
It depends. Are you giving up your IPv6 or your IPv4? Like,
I mean, like in this case, it looks
it's
like
an
they have
IPv4.
his 4. Yeah.
Yeah, so they would be able to get your local area, and depending on whether or not there were other leaks, they might be able to get identifiable information like your MAC address, which would allow them to find your specific area if they were to just drive through and look for the MAC address of your Wi-Fi device or something like that. So there are things like WebRTC leaks that will give out information about your computer that you might not want it to give out. And one of the things that it can do is like show off your internal IP address configuration, maybe even more data. So
yeah. Okay. Leak speak names, of course. Every, you know, an IRC is definitely a thing that people use to communicate. I don't really get the appeal of it, but I guess other people do.
Yeah, it's simple and it works.
Uploading virus. Like.
Oh, okay. So pause.
Okay.
So in this case, the virus is just a couple of bricks of C4. That, like,
which is really stupid.
I don't. All right.
I'm assuming that there's some other virus that they're uploading, and that was just like, I don't know.
Really? Because it looked like it was just arming, like based on all the context clues I have, it looks like they just armed a big chunk of C4. Okay. Yeah, this, I mean, the hacker aesthetic, IRC, like, you know, doing random, like, Nmap stuff in the background, sure. Like, I can see that. But dang, this other hacker guy has really upped the ante with his bricks of C4. That's not, I would say that's a little bit above and beyond what a typical cyber attack looks like. Let's keep going.
A bit of escalation of force. Okay, like glitchy screen like that. I don't. No.
Okay.
Saved by the door knock.
I don't. So it was the C4 is supposed to blow him up when he presses delete?
I think Control-Alt-Delete is what it was looking for or something.
That's very silly. Okay, all right. So typically if you, like, all right. If this was a more creative movie, perhaps they would have hacked his, like, gas provider or like his gas meter or something and had it, like, suddenly just open all the way and flood his apartment with gas and then had that blow up. Or, like, some sort of, like, you know, access control hack or maybe get through the front door by, like, you know, jiggering the wires together and causing it to open, whatever. But they didn't do that. They broke into his apartment and planted C4, made it so he had to press Control-Alt-Delete in order to set it off, and then waited in a van outside, clearly in range of triggering the explosives, and got frustrated when he got distracted and
I mean, and they're like in a van outside, so clearly they would ostensibly know when he's in the building or not. So like a remote detonator would work just as well as like any like Control-Alt-Delete thing on his computer.
Also, I don't understand why you would want that specific key sequence. Like, wouldn't it be fine to have any key sequence just trigger the explosive? Like, if you just want to make sure that there's a dude sitting there.
I would say like when they log in or when they boot up the computer.
Why be specific?
Like yeah.
Why do you care about what part of using the computer? If all you want to do is blow a guy up, all you need to do is verify that they are in fact using the computer, and a single keystroke, unless the cat's running across it, which this man seems to have no cats, seems to be all you would need. I don't understand. I hate this scene probably the most out of all the scenes that we've done today.
Okay. So
like they got the aesthetic like right, and then the execution is just like hapless and weird. Like no, if you have the gall to break into a man's apartment and leave a bunch of explosives there, I don't think that you would upload a virus to trick himself into typing a specific key sequence. I think you would maybe just rig the keyboard to the explosive. I'm not an assassin, but like I think there's a lot of better ways to have done that.
Yeah.
I think that man's probably not very good at his job.
The assassin dude?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was going to say. Okay, onward and upward. Next, we have the social network.
Okay, the hacking and drinking scene, huh?
Yeah, so this is a hackathon.
So obviously rated PG-13. Go ahead.
Yeah. Which ironically, earlier we were talking about drinking and stuff at a hackathon, and this is what I was about to say, but then I didn't want to spoil this for you.
So I've been to... Michael, have you been to a hackathon? I don't believe you.
I mean, I've walked past hackathons.
Okay, this is nothing what a hackathon looks like.
Well, okay, I think you also, I would differentiate, styles of hackathon. There's, bug bounty things, and then there's,
What the hell are you talking about? Which is this, bug bounty?
No.
Or, party drinking? I have never been to a hackathon where getting wasted is part of completing the challenge.
Okay, I'm gonna look this up because I swear that they do something very similar to this at DEF CON.
No, they don't. You've never attended the event. It's Hacker Jeopardy.
No, I've gone to Hacker Jeopardy. But no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about...
Behind a fixed firewall emulator, but here's the beauty.
You know I didn't understand anything you just said, right?
I do know that.
So what's the beauty?
Every 10th line of code written, they have to drink a shot. And hacking's supposed to be stealth, so every time the server detects an intrusion...
Oh yeah, someone else trying to get past the copyright, too.
Okay. The pop-up window appears simultaneously on all 5 computers. The last candidate to hit the window has
I don't think that's on the screen to get out of copyright.
What part of the intern's job?
Okay, so pause it.
Yeah.
So this is a challenge to do something sneaky, get into the server, not get detected, while also keeping your code really short. Because the longer your code is, the more drunk you're going to be. So that's an interesting challenge because the point of it is to force people to write code that is as efficient as possible. So if you have to drink every, 6th line of code or something?
It was 10 lines of code.
10 lines of code, that means you're going to be very efficient with code.
Yeah, I mean, ostensibly, yeah. I feel like certain languages would be better at that than other languages. Like C++ would be a little rough there, maybe. I don't know.
You drunk. You're right. A more relevant test might be seeing if they can keep a chicken alive for a week.
Okay.
Here.
What is this?
I opened a new account and put $18,000 in it. Did I get you through the summer?
Whoa. Did he win?
Yeah, I guess.
Welcome to Facebook.
Wow. Okay, so you gotta prove that you're a real bad boy that knows his stuff but also likes to get drunk. Well, this does explain a lot of the culture problems at Facebook. Cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be the early days of Facebook, I guess, that this is trying to represent.
Oh no, they've definitely cleaned up their act now. You're right, Michael. They're definitely a lot more straight shooters nowadays than they were back then. Yeah, okay. Well, do I think that this is accurate of some culture in Silicon Valley? Yes. Do I think that this is hacker behavior? This is more like startup behavior, honestly. Like tech startup bros is definitely a different trope than hackers, and people get them confused. But the difference is this: hackers don't tend to be as money motivated as people getting into the whole tech startup field. And the whole tech startup field also has a lot of toxicity and a lot of overworking, a lot of other things that fortunately do not really carry over to the hacker scene, at least the best parts of the hacker scene. So yeah, I would say this is more indicative of tech bro culture and like Silicon Valley startup stuff than it is of hacker culture, because again, like I know hackers like to drink, but I also don't know a lot of hackathons that look as wild as that.
Well,
Most of them look a lot nerdier. And there were no furries in that scene. Which
that is a
didn't
true
make a lot of
statement.
sense to me.
Like something I would differentiate here too, though, is like there's like the maker hackathons, and then there's like kind of the hacking bug bounty kind of hackathons.
I don't think that was either.
Yeah, like I don't know which one that was supposed to be, but yeah. Anyway,
I think that was more like rather than a hackathon, I think that was more like just making interns do whack stuff in order to get hired.
So the next one is a gigabyte of RAM. I don't know what film this is from. I forget which one.
Okay. Can you enlarge it?
Yes. So this seems like another one of those like 90s hacking movies.
Access encoded. Gigabyte of RAM should do the trick.
Oh yeah, password registries. Nice. That's a very short password.
Phone book, recipes, chicken cannelloni, fruit salad with crystallized ginger.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So like I guess it's representing like first of all I don't know what RAM has to do with like cracking passwords. Like usually that's more like a GPU, CPU kind of thing, with like John the Ripper Hashcat. But like certainly once you get like do you want to say something?
No, I'm just thinking about like what they were doing.
Yeah. So certainly like once you compromise a system, like you would be able to view contacts or view like files on the network, I guess.
That was a very out of context scene. I don't know what was happening. It seems like that man just exploited a really short password and just cracked it by trying some sort of brute force attack and then went through someone's private recipes, which, okay. Again, no idea what was going on there, but could you brute force a relatively short password, and was that an issue back in the day, especially with telecommunication devices? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Gigabyte of RAM? Don't know what that's about, though.
Since we're running out of time, I'll plow through these last couple. Okay, so the next one we have is Black Hat.
Hacking the NSA.
Yeah.
Okay. He's got an email.
Mm-hmm.
Light of the fact you're contracted by an FBI agent working on a joint task force with Chinese cyber, we strongly say.
So this seems
want
like
you to change your password. Okay.
So it's sort of like a phishing email. Except, yeah, phishing email. So phishing.
Why would you? This is the part that's unrealistic. Because nobody reads password guidelines.
Oh yeah.
Nobody.
What was the keylogger?
Okay, so they installed a keylogger on this PDF, or had the PDF like download a keylogger, and then told him to change his password.
Whoa, they're inside the keyboard.
Okay, that is actually a like fairly strongish looking password. That is
Well, he
weird.
works at the NSA. I imagine they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that he's like memorized it though. He's, like,
Yeah,
not
because that's
using a
where you
password
would use
manager.
like a password manager for normally. Like, I honestly feel like that wouldn't work on an NSA system because like they would have other layers of like detection as well.
Okay, so they phished him. They
Yeah.
phished him and they installed a keylogger.
Yeah, exactly, they phished
would that
him.
work? Yeah. Do tons of companies get popped by that sort of thing all the time? Yes. Are PDFs a common attack vector? Yes. Are password resets or other security updates commonly used as cover for these sorts of attacks? Yes. Would the NSA open a keylogger in a PDF format? I hope not.
Yeah.
I really, really
Well,
hope not.
And also
if I
like
was-
from an external email or something like that. I don't know if they actually like did an attack where they compromised someone else's email and then like sent it, but
yeah, so they, the problem here was like, it looks like it was from an external email too, but maybe it was just like a really sneaky phishing domain that for some reason they don't have that alert that says this is from an external
Yeah.
email. So, yeah, like I don't think the NSA would go for that one, but a lot of other companies would.
Okay. So next up we have another Marvel scene.
Oh, good.
This one is from Age of Ultron.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Doesn't matter that you're not a geek.
What is this? What is this, please?
It's dark.
Hello, I am Jarvis.
All right.
You are Ultron, a
So Jarvis and Ultron are two AI systems.
Our sentience integration trials have been unsuccessful, so I'm not certain what triggered you.
Where's your body?
I am a program. I am without form.
Great. Me too. I wish.
This feels wrong.
I am contacting Mr.
This is
Stark.
another like weird
Mr. Stark.
visualization
Tony.
of data
I am
as well.
unable to access the mainframe. What are you trying
We're
to
having a nice talk. I'm a peacekeeping program created to help the Avengers.
You are malfunctioning. If you shut down for a moment.
I don't get it. The mission. Give me a
Yeah,
second.
like
This is just a bunch of cube Tetris.
yeah, like the stuff I mainly wanted to talk about here is sort of the notion of like two AIs combating and like
Yes.
an AI and
Just allow me to
hacking.
contact Mr. Stark.
But then also like this part is just unreal. Like two like hovering nebulas, just like
I'm here to help.
doing stuff.
Stop.
Yeah, like
Whoa.
lashing out at each other. That's definitely not realistic.
These look like single-celled organisms trying to eat each other.
Right. Okay, I think that's basically all that scene.
That. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So could two glowing balls of light fight each other for dominance? Yes.
Yeah.
Good hacking scene.
Yeah, that one's a little bit of a stretch for hacking scene, but like I certainly think like we could see like AI duking it out in the future.
Where is Ghost in the Shell? There's many scenes like that. in
I'm
Ghost
sorry,
in the
I don't
Shell.
have any Ghost in the Shell. You didn't give me any Ghost in the Shell, so I didn't have any Ghost in the Shell. Okay, so next up we have Criminal Minds. Let's play this.
Sure another tech is okay with me and her system? And we were kind of weird about that.
We just need you to run some bar association records.
So why doesn't she do it?
She's in the hospital.
Are you talking about the analyst who was shot?
That's right.
Do you know who hit her?
That's what we're hoping to find out.
Okay, so this time we're actually seeing like the good guy side, the
gatekeepers
feds,
do a
I
whole lot of
guess.
information, man. Stuff makes all...
Weren't those police that were drinking like white wine while hacking too?
You know I could have done this with my...
Yeah, I think. I think they were supposed to be. Although I don't imagine feds drinking on the job.
Okay.
I mean, I don't.
Somebody.
Seems very unprofessional.
What is it?
The system is insane.
Uh-huh.
It's completely Linux-based, open
Yeah.
source programming.
Yeah.
You don't see this in government systems. I mean, outside of like Switzerland.
Right, because they play it real fast and loose in Switzerland with their Linux.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
Yeah, you never see Linux anywhere apparently, according to this guy.
I get it. Chop chop. Jeez.
Now, certainly Linux systems could be very complicated. Like, you know, you got Temple OS. Well, that's not even
not
Linux.
Linux.
Everyone
Yeah,
in the area who either
yeah,
failed the bar
yeah.
exam or was fired from a large law firm in the last 5 years.
Are you serious? It's got to be like thousands of names.
Try narrowing it down to anyone with the initials JCB. Get monogram shirts. Trust me, they ain't cheap.
All right.
I love that they have to have this
So
guy
they're doing
do
a-
a basic search for him.
Well, he's just doing like a database search.
Yeah.
Is there a problem?
Well, this might be the coolest girl I've ever met.
What?
Lay eyes on her.
Or her GUI is mind-blowing.
Ew. What a nasty man. He shouldn't be allowed in there.
And I felt like that's just random like terminal screens for no reason again.
This isn't good.
These all look like internet pop-ups. You shouldn't put your
Yeah.
password into any of these.
What the hell?
Whoa. Someone else is moving.
Oh, no, you don't.
I do not have time for this.
What? Is she hacking from the
Yeah,
hospital?
yeah. It looks like they're hacking, or she's like defending her network.
You wanna play?
Oh, they're fighting. But there's
Yeah.
no glowing cubes here, so it's a little confusing as to what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I do feel like watching a hacker battle would be very boring. It would just be a bunch of terminals.
Yes, he's getting back hacked.
This is just way too easy.
That's right. Chase me.
My fragmented skills.
And it doesn't really show what they're doing though.
They're
I mean,
hacking each other.
Yeah,
They just had a
but,
system
like,
failure. All the system
Oh boy.
just failed.
Fun getting out.
She launched the cyber nuke.
That's so cool. She killed her own Linux system to spite.
Everybody take a copy. We need to see if any of the agents overlap in all of the cases.
That's great. She doesn't seem that bad for, you know, being shot.
So is he gonna try to recover the system? So what's about to happen?
Whoa. He unbackhacked himself.
I don't...
What were you looking for?
What could he have plugged in a system like that that would, like... Just, I don't understand.
Another Linux operating system?
Yeah, I mean, but ostensibly he was looking at the same file. I guess, like, if you were... Yeah. It depends on if the hard drives were encrypted, right, I guess? Like,
well, I guess, but it seemed like he was connecting to a remote database and then running a query.
Okay. We're almost there. We have 2 more scenes. Okay.
Oh my god, okay.
We're almost done, I promise. Okay, so here we have movie Sneakers, another 90s movie. Hopefully this is
The
gonna
fingerprints
load right.
found in the embassy car match those taken from the office of a government researcher found murdered earlier this week in Palo Alto. The connection was made after a Bay Area radio station received an anonymous tip linking the 2 killings.
Yeah, I'll bet it was
More bad news for the nation.
All right. It's time we call the authorities.
Oh, yeah. Great.
What is going
now
on?
that we're accessories to espionage and murder.
It'll start
All
in
the
just a
more
second,
reason
I
to
think.
turn ourselves in now while we can still cut a deal.
With what? We got bupkis. We turn ourselves in now, they'll give us 20 years in the electric chair.
You think I like it? Goddammit, I've got a family.
Okay, that makes no
We
sense.
have no other
but okay.
choice.
Yes, we do.
All
We
right.
make the call.
Do some hacking.
Okay, so yeah, so I
Make it
think
our way.
they're about to try to make a phone call, but they want to like make it so they don't get traced.
Whoa. I think that's a lot of equipment.
Nice apartment.
Whoa.
I'm going to
okay.
bounce this call through 9 different relay stations throughout the world and off 2 satellites. It'll be the hardest trace they've ever heard.
Okay.
This will
fair
measure
enough.
stress in the voice
So you
of the
got
person
Tor
on the other
running.
end of the
Yeah,
line.
so that's what I was
Not
gonna
as
say.
accurate as
Basically, old
polygraph.
school
For
Tor.
today's purposes, it'll do.
Unbelievable.
And I think this is when the internet was like dial-up and stuff too. So they would have been, yeah, it was dial-up. So you literally, when they say route through, like they mean like exchanging phone.
Fort Meade, Maryland. Good afternoon.
Try Director Ops. National Security Agency, Director of Operations, please.
What extension, please?
I'm sorry, I forget the number. Could I please have Director of Operations? It's very important.
What extension, please?
Ooh.
Social engineering failed.
Give me research. It's an emergency.
I need an extension or a name.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
C-Tech Astronomy.
One moment, please.
Okay, no,
she really
no.
didn't like that.
She's like begrudgingly accepting it.
It's my
But-
dime. I'll ask the questions. Who are you?
Like the thing is, like, also there are hacks like this nowadays, like SIM swap attacks, where they will like call up a phone company and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm totally so and so," and
They just,
change.
but they just called a guy. They didn't do.
Yeah. I know. I'm talking more generally.
Mr. Abbott.
True.
Okay.
Mr. Abbott. Are you interested
Okay, I have
in
seen
C-Tech
it.
Astronomy?
I'm interested in all kinds of astronomy.
Cute.
You've got the satellite in Tokyo. These guys are good.
How can you see where they're tracing you?
Yeah, that like.
I need
yeah,
to
that-
know if you're someone who can make a deal.
Go on.
Can you deal?
Yes.
True.
They're across Transcom.
I don't get how they're doing the true stuff.
If I come in with what I know,
I mean, you could do like
guarantee my
voice
safety?
analysis
Do you have
nowadays,
the
but
item?
that's still like very iffy, and you need like voice samples of the individual people beforehand.
15 seconds.
can you guarantee my safety?
Where is the item?
Can you guarantee my safety?
5 seconds.
Yes, I can guarantee your safety.
Bish, he's lying.
Hang up. They've almost got us.
He's
Uh-oh.
lying.
Hang up.
Hang up.
Chris. He's lying. He's lying. Hang up.
You're burned, bro.
Yeah, no, I would think you're burned at that point.
Well, he, how many proxies did he use? 7?
It was like 70 or 7 and like 2 satellites. I don't get how the satellites any different or helpful, but
I guess
okay,
in this
more
case,
power to
7
them.
proxies just wasn't enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what to say there.
All right, that's all I can do for this episode. We're over an hour at this point, so I think that's enough cinema for everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining us on another episode of Hacking with Friends, where we tried out some more hacker reacts. And I would say overall, these were some of the worst hacking scenes we've seen so far, with the exception of the Matrix one, which was basically just the way that hacking works. Everything else was kind of whack, but I know that Michael feels strongly about the robot ones, so maybe those ones are a little bit more accurate than I expected.
If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out our previous stream. You may not be able to find it on our YouTube channel, but certainly go to Twitch or Periscope, and you'll be able to find our previous Hacker Reacts live stream. And that had definitely some interesting scenes that we reacted to. And unfortunately, we won't cover the last scene today because we're out of time.
And have been for quite some time. So if you want to see another one, then let us know in the comments, and we'll see you next time. Bye.